up, YouTube? This is your girl, Megan. Welcome back to my channel, cousins. However, if this is your first time joining me on today, welcome to the HoodAstroQ. It's here that we use information from celestial bodies to help us gain a better understanding of our favorite celebrities, world events, but most importantly, our goddamn selves. So, do us both a solid, subscribe to become part of the family, thumbs up this video to help grow the channel, and click that notification bell so that way you will be alerted whenever I make a new post. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 instances in which Ashanti has placed her Sagittarius Mars on full display. And much like some of the other videos in this series, I did have a difficult time trying to figure out what direction I wanted to go in terms of what placements I wanted to focus on, just because people are so multi-layered. And Ashanti really does exude a lot of her Libra energy. She is a Libra sun. However, obviously, as is the case with most people, because we are so complex and we are comprised of a host of other natal and cosmic alignments, there are other factors that could really influence our personality, and sometimes a lot heavier than our sun sign. So let's focus on that Sagittarius Mars because I think it's actually a lot more fitting. So the first instance in which Ashanti really put her Sagittarius Mars energy on display was this Verzuz battle. Now, I didn't watch the Verzuz battle in and of itself, but I did see a lot of hot takes. There are a lot of clips circulating social media, and a lot of people have just been talking about it in general. And one thing I will say is that Ashanti was very jovial. She had this very lighthearted energy. She was very funny. She laughed a lot. And although it is important to mention that because of her being a Libra, Libra is the sign of diplomacy. So these are naturally people who are just going to come off a certain way, right? They don't really like conflict. They're naturally going to be very agreeable, kind of easygoing, mild-mannered people. But with that Sagittarius Mars, because Ashanti is actually a Sagittarius moon and Mars, this really highlighted her sense of humor, in my opinion, because there were many instances where she was funny, like where she was just funny as hell, but also where she was able to adapt and adjust to certain situations, which is why I feel like when people were talking about like the personalities of Ashanti and Keisha Cole, more people than not walked away from that experience with the understanding that Keisha Cole is a bitch, or they didn't like Keisha Cole's attitude, but they really enjoyed Ashanti's attitude. And that's the blessing of that Sagittarian energy. Because Sagittarius is a mutable sign, and especially with her being a Sagittarius moon, your personality, right? And Mars, she's just a person who is naturally going to have that vivacious, that upbeat energy, that almost like comic, right? Even comical kind of energy. She was funny. Like I can only speak for myself. She had me bugging up at several points throughout the damn clips that I saw. Anyway, she was funny, and they're typically really good natured people, very easygoing people. And yeah, they're just easy people to deal with. And a lot of people really do gravitate to that energy. And in my opinion, that was a glaring example of that Sagittarian energy peeking through. All right. So the second instance in which Ashanti has placed her Sagittarius Mars on full display was when she did this little thing for her birthday where she went traveling around the world. And actually, this is what caused the Verzuz to get pushed back like twice already, because this Verzuz was supposed to happen last year in December sometime. However, Ashanti caught COVID, and she wanted us to believe that she ain't catch COVID because she went out of town. Girl, you want me to believe you've been around the world and yeah, which is very Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius does deal with international travel. All right, these people like to get up and go. Girl, you mean to tell me you going around the world in a panoramic? That's not where you caught COVID? She said, I caught it from a family member. Okay, girl. But nonetheless, even the whole concept of Ashanti liking to travel, going to different countries, right? Partaking in different things like that. These are very cultured, very worldly people. They can't sit still for too long. They can't be in one place for too long. Also reinforced with her being a Sagittarius moon, these people have no home. The world is their home, right? They have to get up and go. So, I don't hold it against her. That's just how she is, honey. Sagittarius, we not rule followers. We ain't gonna follow the rules. So that is another really good example of her being a Sagittarius Mars, and even Moon for that matter. Now, the third instance in which Ashanti was a Sagittarius Mars was her name, just in general, right? And I guess you could attribute this to her mother as well. But in astrology, Mars does deal with not only how we identify ourselves, but on a very literal level, our actual names. And I remember reading that her mother called her Ashanti. She named her Ashanti after this tribe, this African tribe. I can't remember what country, but that is very Sagittarius Mars, just because Sagittarius can deal with multiculturalism, right? This could deal with where her name is directly influenced by that, right? By other cultures, or having a name that's foreign, or whatever the case may be. So I thought that was really interesting. The fourth time which Ashanti showed herself to be a Sagittarius Mars was through her athleticism. Now, it has been commonly known, or at least I've always known, she's made it very clear, like publicly, that she is very athletic, that she has always been very athletic, even since childhood. I think she ran track when she was in high school. She danced. She's always danced. And even if you want to take it back to the Verzuz thing, you could tell she was still kind of competitive as well. Like, Sagittarius Mars individuals are very competitive in nature, very similar to your other fire sign Mars placement, so Aries and Leo. So these are people who could definitely do really well in sports, but they're also just the type of, like, I'm gonna play the game to win. I'm gonna play to win. I'm gonna play to keeps type of individuals. And because of their athleticism, even on a physical level, it's not uncommon for these people to have very pronounced legs and calves and things like that. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if she hasn't sustained an injury to these areas of her body, especially with her having a history of running track, right? So these are people who can pull hamstrings or get Charlie horses and all kinds of stuff. This also explains why Ashanti is so thick at the bottom. She's always been a little thick chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, real heavy at the bottom, kind of like, and that's very Sagittarius in nature, that centaur, half horse, half human. So go off, Ashanti. Now, the fifth and final instance in which Ashanti proved to be a Sagittarius Mars was through her dating choices. And although we've only known mostly of one guy she's dated, right, in the public arena, which would be Nelly, although I have heard she's dated Flo Rida, or she is currently with the dude Flo Rida. I've also heard that he was a deadbeat, which could also be very Sagittarius Mars, like attracting men who are Rolling Stones. But as it pertains to Nelly, this could deal with her attracting men who have a difficult time committing, men who have a difficult time being a one woman's man. And I think most of us, you should know that about Nelly, especially considering he's a Scorpio. So, I mean, and I don't know if she ever officially came out and said that he cheated on her, but I'm pretty sure he has. Like, I'm pretty sure he has. So, there's that. And yeah, this concludes my video on the 5 instances in which Ashanti was a Sagittarius Mars. Let me know what you think about her chart. Feel free to sound off with your experiences below in the comment section. And make sure you practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. But until the next video, I holla.